From the moment I told the Baudelaires their parents perished in a terrible fire, they've had adventures in all sorts of exotic locales. I've just dropped them off at boarding school.
I know all about you. You've been sent to guardian after guardian, and adversity has always followed. I'm afraid that you'll have to live in a small tin shack.
Crabs.
Our shack is crabs. Yeah. Our parents were a part of something. It might be the reason all these terrible things keep happening. Count Olaf is still looking for us.
Does this seem like a nightmare? Because that's the effect I was going for.
Who is this man?
That's Count Olaf in disguise. He's in the middle of a scheme to steal our fortune.
What sane man would disguise himself 4 times in a row?
We lost our parents in a fire.
We lost our parents as well.
We've seen a lot of things we can't explain, like a spyglass.
Where did you get that?
There's a secret.
We're part of a mystery and we'll never be free until we figure out what it is.
We have eyes everywhere, and we are always watching.
Aya.
We don't have much time.
I think I've got it.
Open up in there.
No!
Please?
This time, I have no mercy. I won't be satisfied with just your fortune. I will obliterate you in the cruelest way imaginable.
The camaraderie at this hospital is really inspiring.
We need to keep moving.
I wish you luck. I think you're going to need it.
This episode in the lives of the Baudelaires is about to get much, much worse.
How was work, Sonny?
Faster! You type like a 1-year-old.
Hey guys, Ben here, and welcome back to another video on a series of unfortunate events. And today we're going to be talking about the new trailer that was just released. This is the first official trailer, so it's an extended version of what we've seen before, and there's so many new scenes that have been included. This video is going to go on for quite a while, so if you do go on to enjoy the video, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, and subscribe if you're new so you don't miss a series of unfortunate events videos later this year, because it is coming March 30th. We only have about 23 days as of when I'm recording this, so this is going to be crazy. I can't wait, so please be sure to subscribe to not miss anything on a series of unfortunate events. So we're going to be breaking down this trailer. So in the first shot in the trailer, we see what was at the ending of last season, and they are in Prufroot Preparatory School, and that is the Baudelaires and 2 of the Quagmires, so Isadora and Duncan Quagmire. And then we move to a shot of the school, and you know, it is downgraded in color, and that is just to portray the idea that this school is literally hell. So it's great seeing that pose back as he's narrating this, and we get to see him later in the trailer, so we'll talk about that in a minute. But we get one of our first looks at Principal Nero, and he's sitting in his office with the Baudelaires, and he's saying he knows them, and then he gives the Baudelaires the orphan shack leaflet, and that is where in the books they actually end up meeting the Quagmires, as the Quagmires have to stay there because they're orphans as well, and the orphan shack is where the orphans stay, and that is the worst place in Prufroot Preparatory, and there's crabs along the ground. And so the next shot is them actually entering there for the first time. So we get a shot inside the school, and it's of the library, and that's going to come into handy with Klaus in the first 2 episodes of season 2. And Violet goes on to actually talk about how their parents were part of something and they must find the answers, and throughout this trailer we get hints at that of the VFD, and throughout season 2 and season 3 they're going to be finding information about the VFD, following clues, you know, failing, and then finally getting some clues by the end of season 3. So they're going to be getting there, but it's going to take a while. And the next shot we see Klaus inside that library, inside the school, and the following shot is of Count Olaf as he arrives as Coach Genghis, and he's in his new disguise at Prufroot Preparatory School, and obviously he went there in the past, so if he didn't have the disguise on they would have recognized him. So the Baudelaires are hiding from him, and they see his ankle tattoo and they're like, yep, that's Count Olaf. So there is some repeat shots throughout the trailer, and you guys can check out my other trailer breakdowns that I've done recently to do with the show. I will leave the links in the description below so you can go check them out. But we see a repeat shot of Count Olaf as Gunther, and he's doing his normal accent, obviously, because it's just to the Baudelaires. And the following shot, we get one of our first looks at Jerome Squalor, and I'm super excited to see Jerome. He's one of my favorites in the books, and he's obviously going to be accompanied by Esme a lot in episode 3 and 4, because they're obviously husband and wife, and they live at 667 Dark Avenue. And if you didn't know, in the books, 667 Dark Avenue is a big thing because it connects from the Baudelaires mansion up to 667 Dark Avenue, and Jerome's actually encouraged to buy this place in the past by one of the VFD members, and there's a secret tunnel to there, so that's going to be a way that they might escape in the end from the clutches of Gunther in this case. So an awesome new shot of Gunther as he walks in, and there was also a clip released really recently, but I might make another video for that because that will be shorter, and we'll talk about the clip that was released for season 2 on Jimmy Kimmel. So that is to do with Gunther, Esme, and also Jerome. So subscribe for that because that will be in a few days time. So we get a shot inside Prufrock Preparatory School, and it's of the Baudelaires actually talking about their misfortune, and this is obviously nearer to the start of the episode, and that scene is somewhere in episode 1 or episode 2 because they're in the school. But then we cut to another shot, and Mr. Poe is back. Finally, he's in one of these season 2 trailers. I'm really excited to see him. He was brilliant in season 1, and in the background we can see Nero, and he talks about what type of crazy man would dress up 4 times just to get your fortune. And then we get a shot of all the different disguises that Count Olaf is going to be wearing throughout season 2, so that's really awesome to see that. So we get to see all these different ones on the screen right now. So one of my favorite shots of the whole trailer is just a simple shot, and is of the Quagmires and the Baudelaires, and we get to see Isadora, and we see them interacting with the Baudelaires as they interact, and the Quagmires notice that there's so much mysterious stuff going along with their lives, and how their mansion actually got set on fire, similarly to the Baudelaires. And in the next shot we see someone dressing up, and it's very similar to the person who actually burned down the Quagmires' house in season 1. So a lot of theories have been going on. It's never answered in the books. Most people suspect it's Count Olaf, but in the TV show we got to saw a very fancy looking woman, so it could be Esme, it could be anyone else, but Esme is really in on the clothing, which is a big reference to the books, but it could just be Count Olaf in disguise just in case he got caught. So we find out that their spy glasses, their 2 parts of it actually fit together, and they're like, where did you find this? So they're in the lunch hall, and they realize, yes, there is a connection. We need to stick together because both of our parents were somehow connected, and we know it's via the VFD organization. So we get a shot with the spyglass illuminating, and that's just really cool. And then our first official Vfd confirmation is on the screen right now. So we get a book, and it's of the contents of what VFD means, and I think this is in the Ersatz elevator episode. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll have to wait and see for that. You guys can tell me your theories in the comments below. And so the next shot is really strange because the newspaper from the Daily Punctilio is floating in the air, and on the newspaper it does say Olaf, so by this point maybe Olaf has been exposed. We don't know, but this is in the Ersatz elevator episodes, so he's going to be disguised as Gunther. And then we get some quick cut edits of a few scenes of how everyone's looking at them, and we see Violet smashing down a wall, and we get one of our first looks at Jackass Snicket, and that's really cool. We saw him in the past trailer, but this is a really ominous and really sinister cool shot of him. So he's actually going to die. If you guys didn't know, he dies in the books. He's mistaken for Count Olaf. Everyone thinks that Count Olaf's dead, but he's mistaken due to his ankle being tattooed like that. So the next shot is in the Ersatz elevator episodes, and that's of Esme Squalor as she talks. And then the following shot is of a teacher at Prufrock Preparatory School, and I'm not 100% who she is, but my best guess is Mrs. Bass or Mrs. Bass. I don't know how to say that, but there are a few teachers at the school, and she fits the description a bit more, although she has black hair in the books. We have to wait and see, but I think it's her. So we get a shot of Madame Lulu, and then the next scene is inside the Vile Village episode, and we can see some of the council elders with the crows on their hats, and we get a shot of a waiter inside the Most Inn restaurant where we saw in a previous trailer that Esme and Gunther were actually dining at. And our first look at Hal, and he's the bookkeeper, and he's the bookkeeper in the Heimlich Hospital, and he's going to be their unofficial guardian for most of those episodes, and I'm really excited for him. And then the next shot is inside at the Verblen Hall auction in the Ersatz elevator episode, and probably one of the coolest parts of this whole entire trailer is the VFD shots that we have right now, and I'm talking about the Volunteer Fighting Disease Organization, and you can see they had the signature heart balloons in the background, and we see them throughout the trailer, so they're going to be really interesting. And that's after they've escaped from the village of Vfd, and they're going to be going with them because they saw in the newspaper, I'm fairly certain, VFD, and they go join them, and they think it might actually link back into VFD and the organization, so they try and get answers, but it turns out they're not linked into that. We see Esme and Gunther start to establish a connection, and then inside the Heimlich Hospital, Klaus and Violet fix the projector, and they look on the projector and maybe there's some answers there, and we get to see Count Olaf in his disguise at the hospital, and he's operating on Violet for no reason, and we can see some of the VFD members in the background, the Volunteers Fighting Disease members, that's what I'm talking about. On the top left corner, you can see the red signature balloon, and it's in red this time, so that's more like the book version, so I'm very excited for that. And then a beautiful shot of the sunset as Sunny drives the truck as they try and escape the VFD village, and this is just prior to when we see Hector's self-sustaining hot air mobile home, and they try and help Isadora and Duncan actually escape onto that, and then they go up obviously after that. But then the next shot we see another shot of Jerome and the Baudelaires as they talk together, and then one of the last shots, and probably one of the coolest shots in the whole trailer, is of one of the carriages from the Carnivorous Carnival episodes, from the Caligari Carnival, actually being propelled off the cliff, so we don't know what's going to happen there. But moving back to the Ersatz elevator episodes, we see Sunny as she's climbing up one of the elevators. I'm presuming, it's hard to tell, it's quite dark, but then we see the Baudelaires in the background, the two other siblings of Sunny, and going to the Caligari Carnival, we see Count Olaf and two of his henchmen who I don't recognize, so maybe they're new henchmen. I'm unsure as of now as to who they are, but they help burn down the Caligari Carnival as we see in the following shot, and we get the return of Lemony Snicket, so it's really awesome seeing him back because he hasn't really been in any of the new promotion, and I loved his narration in season 1, it was brilliant. And so the end credit scene of the trailer is of Sunny, and she's working in Vice Principal Nero's office, and she's doing her job, and that's a really hilarious scene, so it's really great to see that. And also, I just quickly wanted to mention, from behind the scenes we've been getting a few photos, and if you didn't know, Robbie Amell was going to be starring in season 2. He was Firestorm on The Flash, and I'm a massive fan of him, and I met him in real life, so that's really awesome that he's on the show, and he's going to be playing one of the people at the carnival. And also, finally, they released a series of Unfortunate Events season 2 poster that you can see on the screen right now, with them at the Caligari Carnival and Count Olaf overtowering them, so that's just a really awesome poster. I thought I would include this at the end of the video. So anyway guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If this video did help you out, tell me if I missed anything. I tried to break down and analyze as much stuff as I could in the trailer. I'm trying to reread the books right now to try and catch up by the time of March 30th when it actually comes out for season 2, because we're going to be making lots of videos when it comes to that date, and also heading up to that date, and then after that date talking about theories, and also talking about season 3, because there's going to be season 3. They've been shooting it recently. So anyway guys, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.
It doesn't make us strong, it doesn't make us weak. Tongue tied to service like shark free.